say that this hangout on there is live. It's live programming in F Sharp, building this Get Ride app, this long running code kata, similar to Uber or Lyft. Some passing tests right here. They all pass, right? And I have basically this specification as a library that I've been attempting to preach, where, well, inspired by domain-driven design, we have our specification for each domain, hence ride.specification, your account specification. Within each specification folder, you're going to have your tests, just like that, your ride specification test, your account specification test. And then you also have within your specification folder, your specification library, hence specification as a library. So you have your common language, something like that, as well as your operations. So we have before ride module where you request a ride, cancel a ride. There's a request for canceling a ride. Then you have your handlers for cancel requested, for cancel confirmed. During your ride, there's a request location operation, and then there's a request structure that has a property called location that is this function type. And then after ride, you request a fee that takes the pickup as one argument, destination as another argument, and generates a fee. All right. So that's the structure. I like the way that this operations module is mapped out within my ride specification. And then we have let me close out a lot of these files. So also there's something that was bothering me in the last video for this ride.test. I have this ride ended test file. And so what was bothering me is this fee is generated after ride. This is a lot of lines of code. I try to keep my test logic under 10 lines of code. And I feel like this is probably twice that. So it starts at line 43. Well, it starts at line 46 and it ends at 76. So what steps can I take? What steps can I take to consolidate this code? Well, let me see. So for every test, there's always 4 stages: setup, test, verify, and cleanup. The cleanup is implicit. That's done by the garbage collector. All right. Cleans up the memory. Our setup starts up here, but then we have this verify that's in here, and then we have our test that's in here. So the readability isn't ideal. I'm not sure if there's something I could do about that or not. I'm sure there is, but I'm not sure how much effort is going to be required. If we revisit this test, it's fee is generated after ride. So what does that mean? Well, this test is tracker.terminate. What does that have to do with after ride? That doesn't read well. Now there's an in-route view model. Okay. And maybe that in-route view model should expose a end of ride method or something like that, or ride completed, or complete ride. Maybe it should expose that. Well, okay. If we do that, then that's going to look like this. So in route view model, we can have, there's already initialize in here, but then there's also a complete ride. Okay. And that complete ride will basically take our tracker that we have here, and that will call our tracker.terminate. Tracker.terminated. Well, that's tracker.terminate, which is right here. Okay. So now what? Well, so now we have our in-route view model, and our tests can be complete ride, which is what we just added. Here. We do something like that. Now that reads better. That's more intuitive, but that's just one update. When this compiles, the red squiggly should go away. We should be able to run this, Control RT. Uh-oh, let me start over. We should be able to run that test, and everything's still green. Now, what else can we do? Okay, so you have your in route that we mocked out using a pending ride. And then we have this on tracker thing that is a function that we're going to use to handle when our tracker terminates. This tracker.terminate is basically a timer on here where every so many seconds or interval, the location is requested of the passenger. And that's going to keep on going until the passenger gets out the car or the ride is completed. And we'll call this terminated event right here. Okay, so that's what this is. Now, the question is, what we care about is this ride-ended view model. We care about this fee. That's what we want to verify. But do we care about all this other stuff right here? And I would say that I don't think we do. If we can extract this out somewhere where we can say, and how would we do this? We can say, let me first copy this, and then say it doesn't know what the ride-ended view model is. Okay, but I could say let ride-ended view model equal, and then we can say mock dot ride ended view model, something like that. Okay. we do that, then what's going to happen is we can go to our mock, which is right here, and we just scroll all the way down to the bottom of this. And we can say, let ride ended view model equal. Okay. Then in here, we have this, something like that, where we have our on tracker. And we have this over here. And I don't think that's going to work either. So hold up. Let on tracker equals a function. Okay. Now it's going to be upset because we need to end it with something like this. Okay. And this is going to take a en route as an argument. And this view models here is going to be a open, do it up here, say open ride dot, and I should have a reference to the view models, and I don't. So open ride, which is right there. So now that went into view models. Okay. So if I go back down here, now what? Well, if I look at this function that we recently commented out, I need this on tracker tracker.terminated. I don't even know why this is named on tracker. The first thing we need to do is we need to return this view model. Something like this. I don't know about this on tracker thing. That should really be called, even if we do use it, this is on tracker terminated or something like that. But we want to return this ride ended view model, which I can put up here and something like this. Now this wants the end of ride in the fee request. End of ride in a fee request. Like that. Okay. So now what? Well, now that we have that, we should get this to sync up, Control-Shift-B to compile. And let's just get rid of this right now. What else? Well, this tracker.terminated.add, Where is that being used at? That was in our en route view model up here. And that on tracker was really this on tracker terminated thing, which is still going to be out of scope. So what do you do with that? This on tracker terminated is a function, right? And so what we want is we want this function maybe to be, we want to extract this function out here. And so if we do that, we'll have a, put you up here, have a, something like this maybe, on tracker terminated. And that's going to take a ride into view model. Hold up, how's that going to work? That's going to take a ride into view model, and that's going to take a en route. And that ride ended view model, actually we'll get rid of this right here, and we'll say ride ended view model en route, and then we'll say equals. Okay. And then this needs to be ride ended that. Okay. And this end of ride and this fee request is not being used anywhere. The only thing that is being used is this generate fee. So that's not really needed. We'll just comment that out right now. We'll just put that on the clipboard. This en route right here. So on tracker terminated is what we want to, we don't need any of this. We don't need this en route. Okay. So we do that. This ride ended view model right here, that doesn't need an en route. Okay. So now what? Well, what we still want to do is this mock ride ended view model. Well, let's attempt to build this. And right now, that says ride ended. So that's fine. We still need to deal with this tracker dot terminated dot add that right there. This ride ended view model doesn't appear to be pointing to, well, that's it right here. That is our view model. So we go back over here, our ride ended view model is missing right now it's a function. So hold up. This takes a fee request. And okay, so over here, we do this, and this is supposed to take a request, end of writing request fee. So we do this over here in our request fee or fee request. And I think all this is supposed to be mock dot and mock dot. Okay, so we don't need that line. And this right here, here. Now what? Well, this right in the view model, we now have a view model. Okay. But the only thing that we still need to resolve is this tracker terminated event. We try to subscribe to it by saying this on tracker terminated, and I believe that we have this right here. This on tracker terminated. This is the function, but this function takes the view model. Okay. And that isn't going to work for this. This add right here, what says that it just takes an arbitrary TO and returns unit. But I don't think if I do this right here, mock dot on tracker terminated, it's going to say that the tracking service is not compatible with the ride ended. Okay. So this terminated is implements I event and it takes a tracking service. And this is saying that tracking service is not compatible with ride ended. Right. And that's right. So what can we do here? Well, let's put this on our clipboard and let's just build everything. Everything should compile, I think. Everything does compile. Now it's going to fail because we haven't registered our tracker ended handler. And so when we call complete ride, that's going to call tracker.terminate. Okay. That tracker.terminate is going to trigger an event. And in our test, we don't have anything that subscribes to that. We need to have this tracker right here. And if I go here, we If I go right there, our initialize sets that to true. But what we're missing is our right ended view model. That is what we care about right now. And that maybe it could take that service And then we could do that tracker.terminated dot whatever on tracker terminated. But the right-ended shouldn't need the tracker. So what else can we do? Well, let me see. If we go back to our test, end of write, request fee, and maybe we can take this mock dot, come here, mock dot on tracker terminated. Okay. This is the right-ended view model, which we're already creating right here. And so, but that generate fee is what it's doing. And that we just call request fee, pickup, and destination. Okay. So in here, maybe we can do, that's our view model. This is our view model. Okay. This on tracker terminated right here. How can we fit that in? Again, that takes the view model. It calls generate fee. But all we really need is that pickup and destination. So all this is happening because I'm not sure where's interrupt view model complete right. Let's scroll back up here. And I mean, all this is going to fail because I still haven't handled the terminated. But there's other things in here that could be, So that's expected to fail. This mock request fee, it requires the pickup and destination. I feel like this is not even needed. Copy that. Okay. And you just have this right here. Uh-oh. Something like that. Okay. I still want to figure out where I can retrofit a handler for that tracker terminated. The easy way is just to inject that service in here, but that just feels wrong because This is already a ride ended view model. This is end of ride. And yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything I could do about this. So if I go back to my mock, delete that. This on tracker terminated is what I want. But it seems like I don't have a choice. Where's my tracker? Yeah, I don't, it's not clear to me how to, it's not clear to me how I could get this accomplished. So, uh-oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Mock dot. Type tracking service not compatible, ride ended. So this would be a fun underscore, something like that. Something like this. Okay. And that on tracker terminated is no longer being used. It's just generate fee. And that's a ride ended view model. Something like that. And if I run that test, it's all green. What else can I do? Is there any difference in this? Doesn't look like it. It looks like it's the same amount of lines. Did I add anything to my mock? No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like I'm still back at square one. But I went through the exercise of trying to get this to work. Okay, so what else can we do? Well, one thing that we could probably do is we could say that this en route and end of ride can be something like this. You can put that on one line. Okay. This ride ended view model, that's not used until down here. Uh-oh. This en route doesn't work. So I can't use that as a tuple. Oh, can't do anything about that. This over here, I can move. Over here. Okay. Put that tracker should be used where it is being declared or close to where it's being declared. So that kind of puts everything in the same spot. Okay. What else? Well, let me see. This takes a location response. over here, but that can just be this right here. We can delete that. Okay. We know this tracker is going to take a function that takes a passenger location and returns whatever unit. What else can we do? Uh, uh, we have our in-raw view model dot initialize. We can, let me see, we declare our ride ended view model right here. I feel like we can take this code right here and basically mock that out and do something like copy, and we could say let ride ended view model equal mock. Then we do the same thing, ride ended view model, and that will be let ride ended view model equal. Okay, and we have something over here, and we are going to return the ride ended view model with that. Okay, it takes a tracker. Oh, no, hold up. It takes a tracking cert. Open this, and it takes the end of ride over here, and it takes, remove that, remove the mocks. Okay, remove that over here, and that looks like it's okay. And then we go over here, and we can probably rename this to view model like that. Okay, and so then we could go back here and say this is end of ride. Control Shift B. Like that. Okay. Now what? Well, that looks a little better. Now, it doesn't know what this tracker is, but that's okay because we can say tracker equals, and then this mock ride ended view model, we can also add a comma in here. And that's going to be our, what am I doing? We do that. And over here, we're going to return our view model in our tracker like that. Okay. That should be okay. Bring that back over here. And let me see. Okay. So then you can probably take this into ride right there, and you can probably pipe that into our, hold up, pipe that into our mock ride ended view model like that. Could do that, or we could just stick with this over here. That our en route view model is this right here. Test en route view model dot complete ride ended view model dot fee should equal mock sum fee. That looks better. If we run this test, and I'm not sure what that's about. To that, this ride dot specification. So over here, ride the specification operations. That can probably go over here, and ride dot domain. That might be okay right there, or maybe not. Maybe we could put it right here. Okay. If we attempt to run the test and we go back to our test over here, hopefully this is green. That's green. Okay. So we consolidated this test some more. Now what? I mean, if you wanted to, you could save a line and put this up here. Not sure if that matters or not. Okay. Now what? Well, this is necessary. Okay. Is there anything else in here? En route. That's needed. End of ride. We could maybe experiment with some like this. We could probably do something like that. Okay. Anything else? I'm not sure. This is as good as I could get it for right now. I think I shaved off about 8 lines of code, maybe. And at least now we have our setup section, our test section, and our verify that falls in order compared to what it used to be. It used to be setup, verify, and then test. So this is a little bit more top-down structured. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for right now. all the tests pass. This in route right here, it's being used in other places, so that's fine. This write event handler is used in multiple places. This tracker, that looks okay. So I'm going to check this in. And before I check it in, let me make sure that there's no loose strings here. Added the write ended view model right here. Okay. All right, so fee is generated after a ride. Ride ended view model.fee. I should really be able to just call this view model. No, I shouldn't. Check that in. Commit and refactored. And this is the fee is generated after write. Something like that. Check that in. And that looks a little bit better than what I had. Okay, why can't I scroll all the way to the bottom? Hold up. This is another bug. Why can't, okay, now it's working. So this code right here, is there anything that we can do for the ride ended up here? Yes, there is. This in route view model.ended should equal true. That should, I wonder how this is going to work. So if I could take this code right here and attempt to do this over here, is that going to pass? I'm still not sure. Maybe this is still okay if I do that like that. Oh, did that pass? Let me run this again. That test passes as well. This can be a wild card. It's not being used. We can bring you back over here. Okay. And la, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Where's this handlers at? That's being used right there. All right, so consolidated the code in the ride ended test. Maybe this can be something like that, maybe. No, I don't like that. Put it back. Okay. And check that in. Say refactored ride ended. And that's on there. Okay. So we have ride ended tests that's been consolidated a little bit. We have our fee is generated after ride that's been consolidated a little bit. And I think that's it for right now. In the next video, I will probably implement a test for the transaction history, which would be a collection of these fees. So that should be interesting. And that's it. So I'm Scott Nimrod, aka Bizmonger on the World Wide Web. And this is me just live coding F# doing this ride application kata. And I'm gonna stop the broadcast.